Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So we're going to be doing a reading. This reading is going to be for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those of us who find ourselves on this channel without any Piscean anything. You're probably an empath and you're probably needing messages from your soul. So you guys can see what soul told me this reading was going to be about. No longer able to deny or resist. Okay. So something's going on. Someone has been debating back and forth. And at this point, whatever is being debated, it's just not going to be debated anymore. If this is you, if this is someone else, you can no longer deny or resist whatever option it is that your soul wants you to take. Okay. So let me just go ahead and get some cards ready. Okay. Here goes. Here goes. I'm trying not to look at it at all. At all. You like the intro? I finally realized the music wasn't playing when I would play that intro. So now I have to do it a different way. All right. Okay. There's one deck. Okay. Okay. 2 cards already. Woo! 3 cards. Whatever's going to be tried, it's going to work. Whatever your soul is leading you to, it's going to work. I tell you why. The cards that came out, well, the ones that I saw upright, looks like things are going to work. Things are going to work really, really well. Really, really well. Okay. Final deck. One more shuffle. One, 2. Oh, that's 4. All right, that's okay. That's okay. Okay, let's see. Oh, Watchtower of the South, Summer. So this message came up yesterday as well, where there's going to be a continued attempt to kind of observe and watch and really get a good sense of what's going on, probably all the way through till summer. I mean, I don't know. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that just because there's going to be watching all the way through until summer, that there's going to be no observable attempts to to progress. Does that make sense? I think that should make sense. Stability card came up upside down. Right now, it's a period where so many people feel very unstable. So many people feel as though like all the things that are happening in life, all the things that are happening in the world, in our connections, relationships, whatever it is, it's becoming very, very difficult to cope. You know, I don't blame you guys if you're having a hard time coping. There's just so many changes that really were outside of our control, like technically outside of our control. Oh Lord. It taps into this. So these changes that we thought were outside of our control, really all we had to do was stop participating. That's all we had to do. for it to be halted, all the BS, um, all we had to do was stop participating. But here's the thing, just like with what's happened in the world, we have been gaslit, we have been manipulated, we like all of this emotional manipulation, virtue signaling, all of this like social engineering going on. We have to stop empowering that. What happened back in 2020? Like, if you didn't do this, this, and this, you are a bad person. People are because of you. But is that true? No, that's not true. The facial coverings. You see how small my nostrils are? I can't breathe in that. And I have asthma along with a few other things. Like, I was put in a position where I had to choose someone else's sense of safety, not actual safety, but sense of safety over my own actual safety. How can we apply this to our relationships? It feels like this absolutely applies to our relationships and connections with certain people. Today is the final day. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Today is the final day. Is it move out day? Are you moving out of that mental house? Are you allowing yourself to finally migrate to a new mental house within yourself? Because all of this BS that we keep participating in, it's going to continue so long as it works. And whoever's doing this to you, they're going to continue to increase the intensity so long as you continue to give in. So what needs to happen? Let them cry. That sounds mean. For some, it might be mean. Hey, hey, you let them cry. Let them cry. Let them process their feelings. Just because someone is crying does not mean you have to swoop in and save them from themselves and their emotions. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. Like with my kids, if someone's crying because they're frustrated, they're upset, they're irritated. Hey, you okay? I'm really mad. Okay, let me know when you want to talk, or if you need a hug, if you need help calming down, let me know. And letting them have that opportunity to self-regulate. We have not allowed people to have the time to regulate themselves and their emotions. This is what I found. This is what I found. For people who join me regularly, okay, that's not to say that it doesn't apply to people who are new or people who don't get to join regularly. But for many of you, you are very much like me. And we tend to not want to hurt people. We tend to put ourselves in situations that are really, really, really bad for us. But we do this because someone's crying, someone's this, someone's that. You know, how are they ever going to learn to regulate themselves? How are they ever going to learn? Are we really doing them a favor? Are we loving them to the degree that they need? Because the most beautiful type of love, the most empowering type of love, excuse me, it's a type of love that allows you the freedom to experience your life the way you're intended to. That's a very, very beautiful type of love. And when you allow yourself to really begin to experience your life and the way other people affect your life, you then get a clarity that no one else could give you. No matter how much someone tells you something, until you experience it yourself, you don't actually know the full gravity of what they're telling you. You don't. You don't. So let them learn for themselves. Let them figure out exactly what they need to do in their life. Let them figure out exactly how they need to grow themselves, how their behaviors have been very inappropriate towards you. This feels like someone's been trying to dictate. It really truly feels like someone has been trying to dictate how things are going to go between you and them. That's not how it works. That is not love. That is control. That's control. Oh, that's powerful. I used to indeed, no more of that. Had to embrace knowing where I end and where others begin. That's a form of boundary. You know what I mean? That's quite possibly the most powerful basic boundary, because you knowing where you end and where someone else begins, that is powerful, because then you begin to understand how much you are overdoing, oversaying, overgiving. I think I'm about to learn this lesson again. I think I'm about to learn this lesson again. That's okay. If I need to learn it again, I'm going to be fully present to learn it. Okay. So, prosperity. Remember, the notification said today is the final day. You're going to be successful in whatever it is you do. If what you choose is to no longer be around specific people, you're going to be successful in that. You just have to stick to it. What do I say? Make a decision and stick with it. And that's all you have to do. Make a decision and stick with it. Allow yourself to finally choose something based strictly on you and your needs. Not, well, they need this and I could just wait. No, make a decision based on what you need. Stick with it. Stick with it. See it all the way through. Don't make a decision based on what you're afraid of, what you want to avoid, what you need. So, Como says, am I really committed to just accepting people as they are, and turning away? This feels loaded. This feels like a loaded question. She wants to know, am I really committed to accepting people as they are, moving forward past my traumas, past hesitations, um, past all of these ways in which I used to avoid my life, my process, my learning? Am I really finally ready to choose myself and my personal peace? And with that, she includes choosing my personal peace that has nothing to do with labeling people as dangerous to me who really aren't. That was a mouthful. That was a mouthful. And yes, I'm committed to that. She says, okay. Yes, I really am committed to that. I have taken time recently to kind of just express some of the traumas and the things that I try so hard to avoid. I've really allowed myself the time and the space in the past couple of weeks to get comfortable with the knowing and the acceptance of that knowing that I'm going to be reaching higher levels of understanding of myself and my journey. 80% at 808. Boom like an 808. Right. She's no longer shy in this space. Oh, she's asking me, do you mean it when you say you'd never push me out? Well, I mean, are you going to be intentionally hurtful? um, so long as it's something that's healthy for everyone involved, no, I would not push you out. There's no need for me to push you out unless you're determined to be toxic to me, my growth, my process. There is no need for me to push anyone out anymore. You know what I mean? Remember, I'm growing beyond this scared little girl who needs to build fortresses in order to protect herself and her feelings from being exposed to things that maybe are uncomfortable, right? I say that all ballsy right now, but that might be something that's going to kick me in the butt later because her questions feel loaded to me. She says she's setting the stage. Okay. I'm game. Just don't make me cry. I actually have makeup on. Don't make me cry. Okay. Intention. Intention has been huge. What's your intent? Like, what is your intention? What do you really want out of whatever this cycle is? Because this is a very intense cycle that leads towards dun, 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 your growth, your reunification of all your parts, right? No longer able to deny or resist this growth, this process, this cycle that you're in. No longer able to deny or resist. Set that intention. Cleanse yourself of your fears. Like, really wash away the things that are scaring you. All of these insecurities about what if this, what if that, what if I don't succeed? But you will never know until you actually try. So, in the world of what ifs, right? What if you actually do X, Y, and Z? So, okay, what if let's come up with some sort of hypothetical thing. What if you actually take that chance and reach out to a company, an old friend that you've been wanting to kind of be part of? Maybe you need a job and you want to work at this company, but you're afraid that you don't have the experience or that they won't choose you. What happens if you don't take that chance? You're guaranteed to never be chosen. I mean, how are they going to know you exist? How is this company going to know that you want to be a candidate to be considered for a position that they have open and are trying to fill? They won't know. You want to work for that company? Try. Reach out. Send your resume. Present yourself in all your strength instead of hiding behind insecurities, perceived notions of lacking, less than. I've had so many situations where when I was a lot younger, I didn't think these companies would hire me because I literally did not have the experience. I didn't have the experience. But when I presented myself as someone who is highly malleable, someone who is very capable of absorbing information at a very accelerated rate and being able to apply that information accurately and efficiently. I'm determined. I'm self-motivated. You don't have to micromanage me. As a matter of fact, I will finish all of the tasks that you give me for the day, and then I will ask you for more. Every job that I've wanted, I've gotten. And I've excelled. Within the company, I've excelled. If I wanted to. If I wanted to. Had a job as security when I was like a teen, like 19 or something, 18. And, they all knew me because I worked at that mall. And they knew me as the girl who worked at the jewelry store, who would wear like really high heels. I'm talking about like really high heels, 16-inch heels, 20-inch heels, really short skirts, like just, skin tight clothes all the time. And the guys wanted me to apply for security. And I was thinking like, oh my gosh, they're never going to hire me. They all know me as the girl that works at the jewelry store. I'm the jewelry girl. And I went and had my interview with the head of security. He asked me some questions. I answered them authentically. He was speechless. And the sergeant who was there with him with the, because his name is Mike. Mike was the one that was telling me to apply. And I was like, they're not going to hire me. Are you kidding? They're never going to hire me. And, he spoke with the head of security and, they had this private conversation. And then later on, because he was my friend, he was like, you hit that out the ballpark. Like, he was impressed. And I was like, really? He's like, you're hired. What? What? Yeah. Oh, girl. Yeah, no, they have platform shoes with heels that high. Yeah. I used to wear like stripper shoes. Yeah, no, totally extremely high because I wanted to not be considered small. So I used to wear really high heels. And what ended up happening when I was working at that company, I became their best female security ever. They never had to have someone walk with me because they knew I could handle my own. As a matter of fact, quite a few times while I was working and handling situations on my own, because the local police department, they would scan our channel and listen to our radio chatter. And they would always ask, who is badge 17? That's me. I'm 17, baby boo. And they would hear me like very assertive. They've seen me multiple times, like eject people, like large groups of males from the mall by myself. Like, I'm not tripping, boo. I'm really not tripping. And just viewing me like that, the police department was trying to recruit me. Like, you don't know what you will excel at. You don't know what you will be good at until you actually try and actually apply yourself. I didn't just show up. I actually applied myself when I arrived. After that, I went and worked makeup because I was just like, look, I'm about to get violent. People, I just had it. I've had enough. People totally just like try and be, aggressive with me because I kicked you out last week. Well, you were acting a fool last week, so you had to leave. And it wasn't like a fear-based decision. It was just like, it's turning me into someone I don't want to be. I don't want to be aggressive. I don't want to not be able to smile and be told that I can't wear lip gloss today, and be told that I had to take my micro braids out because too many people were staring at me. I don't care. It looked good. It looked good. Okay. It looked good. My manager, the head of security, he didn't appreciate that I did micro single braids. That took like 2 days, bro. I'm not taking it out. I'm not taking it out. And he's like, could you at least cut it shorter? No, I paid to have it past my booty. I'm not taking it out. And he's like, that's a liability because if you get into an altercation, I'm like, you expecting me to fight someone for this job? That's where you got me messed up. That's where I'm not fighting nobody for this job. If someone want to jump me, that's a whole nother story. That's going to be a personal problem. I promise you it's not going to happen here. And, and that's when I realized, like, oh my God, he's making the gangster come out of me. I can't be here anymore. I can't do this. And so I started working makeup. Zero background experience for that. Zero. All I had to do was show up with a full face beat. And I was just like, what you need me to do? I know how to do a lot. I could do a brow bar. I could do all sorts of different things. You just got to provide the product and provide the clients, and I'll do it. With zero experience, just because I understand my capability, I ended up becoming the regional specialist within months. Within months. Months. I never thought I could do that. As a matter of fact, I didn't value what I could do to that degree. When I moved several hours away, they made a position for me at another place, another store, because they didn't want to lose me. And then when I turned in my 2-week notice, because another makeup counter was offering me management position, they had a regional meeting. They wanted to know who was stealing me from the company. Literally. My manager came out and was like, girl, what the F did you tell Vicky? I was like, what? What do you mean? Did I do something? And she's like, we just had an entire regional meeting. They want to know who you're going to, how much they're paying you, because we're going to double it. What? But I don't want to work here anymore. Yeah. Zero experience. Zero experience. When you believe in your ability to do what needs to be done because that's what you always do for your life, you can no longer deny or resist the gravity of you. You can't. You just can't. Everything I've done in my life, this is what I've done. Everything I've done in my life, this is how it has been. Getting into photography. I've never taken a photography class. I don't know about f-stops, apertures, or any of that. You ask me, I don't know. But give me your camera, give me about 15 minutes. I'll figure out the settings. I promise you. I'll produce pictures that you can publish. Cocky much? No, just stating facts. Just stating facts. Just stating facts. Because I hold myself to that degree of accountability. It's not enough for me to just be like, well, I don't know how to do this. No, you don't know how to do it. Perfect. Learn. Learn. Learn how to be the greatest expression of your potentiality. And that's all. That's all I was trying to, I wasn't trying to prove anything to anyone. I wasn't trying to be better than anyone. It was this thing of, I don't know how to do this. Perfect. Let me learn. Let me become the greatest potentiality of me. And then, you know what? If I get bored, I'll move on. If I get bored, I will move on. And that's that. I excel at everything I do because I don't stop until I excel. And that's that. Self-taught at everything because I don't stop until I excel. And this is just how I've always existed. And here's the thing. How did I get this way? Because I had no one growing up. I had no one growing up. That's not a sob story. That's an origin story for a superhero. See what I'm saying? It depends on the way you perceive the life that you've lived. Cleanse yourself. Clear away these perceptions of, well, but you didn't this and you didn't that. When I started photography, that started out of need. I had a friend from high school who went and got a degree in fine arts. He got a BS degree in fine arts. He is this fashion photographer. He's highly, highly creative. Love his work, avant-garde, all of that. And he remembered that I did makeup in high school, that I like to do makeup. And so we reconnected on social media. And he's like, yeah, you want to be my makeup artist sometime? And I was like, oh, really? Because I don't have experience, right? And he said, yeah, because this is someone who was my friend in high school. I was like, okay, he'll be able to tell me if I suck. And he ended up really liking my work. And then we had issues with scheduling because I already had one child at that point. And so my husband, my perpetual enabler, was like, you know, I'm going to just buy you a camera and, you know, just schedule the things yourself. You can be the photographer and the makeup artist. And it took me a few weeks to figure out how to work the camera because I've never worked with a digital SLR. I've never worked. And it took me a couple of weeks to figure out what to do. And then I did it. Within about 6 months, my work was picked up by Maxim magazine. I was being courted by agencies. I was working with agency models. And my friend found out because he thought I was doing all that work for free. No, honey, I got to pay for the gear and the makeup and the gas. He got really irritated. That's on him. I believe he's highly skilled. Why are you doing all of this for free? Why is he doing all of this for free? I'm not trying to enter into a competition with him. I don't take pictures like him. My pictures are all about clean lines, like sultry positioning, lights. It's just like, I'm telling you, I'm sure that's probably why people think I'm a lesbian. I can take the woman's form and turn it into art. Like, baby boo, you're banging. I'm just saying, girl, you're banging. Let me show you how banging you are. I'll take your pictures. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what's my limit? What's your limit? Whatever you believe in, that's the limit. Whatever you believe in is the limit. However far you push yourself is the limit. That's the only limit. That's the only limit. In less than a year, I took that business to the degree where either I have to move to San Francisco or I have to move to LA or New York. And then I have to work with an agency, be represented by an agency. And that's it. My little dream of being a stay-at-home mom and just having fun with some ladies here and there, that's gone. I'm going to be a workhorse. I'm going to be traveling all the time. I'm not going to be home. I didn't want that. So I shut my company down. I didn't want that. And all the people who I worked with were like, but you can go so far. Like, oh my gosh, this and that. Yeah, but I don't want that. I don't want that. That's not going to make me happy. That's an outlet for my creativity, but that's not my passion. It's not my passion. It's okay for you to walk away from opportunities that would make you extremely wealthy. If it's not your passion, it's not your passion. Next project, I taught myself how to become a chocolatier, not knowing that's one of the hardest types of work to do in a kitchen. Like, chocolate apparently is as temperamental as I am. It's as temperamental as I am. Yet I'm over here learning how to mold chocolate, how to make chocolate from scratch. I taught myself all of these things. Within a month of starting my business, a sample of my truffles got in the hands of someone who owns a huge restaurant business in New York. He tried to duplicate my product. Shady ass mofo. He tried to duplicate my product. His classically trained chocolatier who holds these global conferences teaching about chocolate could not duplicate it. He's like, listen, the gluten-free, vegan, all of that, we don't know how you did this. Where did you train? In my kitchen in between nap time and playtime. What you mean? What do you mean train? What do you mean train? Like, I don't get it. And it only dawned on me years later. He was trying to steal my product, but he couldn't. His chef could not do it. I'm so glad I turned him down. He offered to launch my entire company. National launch right from the start. I was only open for, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. I barely had my LLC formed. 3 or 4 weeks. I didn't even have a storefront yet. Why did I go into chocolatiering? Because my kids have tremendous chocolate and food allergies. They can't have any of that. So I would make everything from scratch. Whatever you do with passion, whatever you do with purpose, it has the potential to excel beyond what you thought you could excel towards. When I turned that man down, he was willing to front all of the money. That's a lot of money. And do mass production. When I turned him down, guess what happened? Without any advertisements at all, no SEOs, no none of that, 0 advertisements. Palms Casino contacted me. They were courting me to become a vendor for their convention center. I went in for a meeting. They asked me to bring several samples of what I make. I brought several samples, and the head chef, because I would include little spoons, and he took a little spoonful, and he was jumping, and I was like, "You okay?" I didn't know. And then one of the other chefs was like, "Oh, that's how you know it's good. That's how you know it's good. He can't control it. He can't control it. He gets happy when he tries quality items." Yeah, I did an event for them, and then I closed down my shop. It was a cottage business. I shut it down. Why? Like, oh, the opportunities, but I don't want to be a chocolatier. I just wanted to make stuff for my kids and then make stuff for other people's kids. And yeah, I don't want to do conventions. I just don't. I don't want to do conventions. But I mean, you're missing out on so many. No, that's not my passion. It was for a little bit, and I saw the potential of it, and I'm just not interested anymore. I'm just not. It was fun. It was fun, but I hear people with ADHD are like that. Their passion is learning something, not actually doing it. It's just how I work. And here's the thing, when I got into what I'm doing now, I didn't think this was my passion. I didn't think this was my purpose. I thought this was a thing that I was going to do for a little bit, and then I was going to move forward again, the way I always do. That was several years ago, and I'm still doing this. I'm still doing this. I'm not burnt out. It feels like I live my purpose every single time I'm with you guys and just talking, sharing of my experiences and my life and my opinions based on my experiences. I feel like I'm living my purpose. Emmy, how can you work 7 days a week? Don't you get burnt out? No. Like, how do you do it? How do I live? I mean, this is stuff I would do even if I wasn't live. Even if there were no sessions, no, none of that. I was still doing this for free for people, nonstop. It's just now that it's an official like business, I have to limit myself because I was staying up in chats with people till like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then I would get up at like 5 or 6 and start the new day over again. The whole day just helping people. Zero boundaries. But now, because it's a business, it's like, all right, yo, it's 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Businesses are not open right now. They're not open right now. You're not doing that right now. You have to stop. It's now family time. We have to allow ourselves to balance work and family. We have to do that. When it is your purpose, you're able to do it. Oh, yep. Yes, yes, yes. Not when it's purpose. It doesn't feel like work. It doesn't. It doesn't feel like work. And I've been very, very lucky to be able to create a company that comes with a community of people who are mirrors of my heart and my integrity. It's a beautiful thing to be able to create for yourself. If me as an introvert could do that, why can't you? If me, who is socially awkward, could do that, why not you? If I could reach the places that I've reached within my journey, why can't you? If you are too busy using the life that you've lived, the details of that life, to perpetuate this sense that you are a victim, that you are abandoned, that all of these trauma-based beliefs, that's all you will have. a belief that you are nothing but a walking ball of trauma. Me, on the other hand, I've been through so much. I can go through more. Don't worry. What if you break? Oh, I'll put myself back together. I might be crying while I do it, but yeah, no, that's how it always works. Life breaks me. Perfect. I have new pieces to recreate a new me. Perfect. Would I prefer that? No. But if that's the way it's going to go, then that's what I'm going to do. And that's just that. No longer being able to deny or resist the path that you're on. Like, stop denying your greatness. Stop denying your potentiality. Stop denying all of these things that your life has been preparing you for. You've been being prepared by all of these experiences that you've had for some greater thing that you maybe don't know what it is. If you had asked me 8 years ago, hey, Emmy, can you see yourself live streaming and having this entire community that's just like badass and you like pioneering an entire field of like hybridized medical science? What are you talking about? Live stream? That's where you had me effed up to begin with. Like, what are you even talking about? Mm-hmm. If you had asked me 5 years ago, no, 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 I don't want to live stream. If you had asked me 4 years ago, I was already live streaming. No, I couldn't ever teach anyone this. Like, that's dangerous, you know? Like, I don't know what people will do with this information. For about 3 years now, 4 years, I've been teaching classes weekly. Mm-hmm. I'm about to start the second cycle of my certification program for level 1. I'm about to announce level 2. This is my proper place. All of this existed within me, but I allowed myself to listen to all of the insecurities for quite a few years before I could let go of my belief that I can't do this. Girl, you do everything you need to do. You do everything you need to do. What do you mean you can't do this? Just this particular thing? When you do everything else? And if you don't know how to do it, you teach yourself how to do it? But you can't do this? And that's how I know this is my purpose. Because no one else can teach me this. I can't learn this from anyone else. I simply have to live through it. Live through it. Let it shift my perception on myself and my journey. And then look back and see how I did it. We have too many excuses as to why we can't do things that we are destined to do. Oh, but see, I don't have this and I don't have that. And I don't have the money to start a business. Let me tell you, I started my business in a parking lot with no electric, no water. All I had was a prepaid cell phone, $37 a month. I would charge my phone at the park for multiple years as I established my company. I was in a rundown RV that leaked from bumper to bumper, live streaming with my cell phone. Whatever parking lot is quiet. Tell me again how you can't do it? And how I did it because what? Because what? Exactly. There's no excuse. There's none. All of these excuses that you're telling yourself are nothing but excuses of why you shouldn't take a chance on you. But as Pisceans and empaths, we take chances on everyone all the effing time. Everyone but ourselves. Everyone but ourselves. I couldn't take a chance on me, and I was very, very lucky. A man named Eddie, who was a friend at the time, he reached out privately and was like, Emmy, we got to get you out of that parking lot, get some stuff together. We'll auction it. And I was like, I don't know. What if I, well, like, what if I freeze up? I don't know. I'm so awkward. So he offered to simply be present as I live stream. And because I had the comfort of his presence, I was no longer afraid. The deal was, he's going to be there. If I freeze up, if I freak out, he's going to keep talking, and I'm just cover the camera, get yourself situated. I'll entertain everyone until you're okay. Get back on the camera. We'll keep going. Because I knew I had that safety net. At no point did I get off the camera. At no point did I freak out. At no point. All I needed was someone to tell me, hey, I believe in you more than you don't believe in yourself. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. Yeah. A few days later, I live stream all by myself. I kind of found a little bit of my groove. By the time that live stream was done, I had over 24,000 views. Over 24,000 views while I was live streaming. And here I thought, there's no value in anything I say. People are going to think I'm weird. Like, people are going to just make fun of me. No one was a troll in that live stream. Not a single person. Not a single person. It was my own perceptions of these made up shortcomings that crippled me. It was never the reality that crippled me, that took opportunities away from me. It was me. It was me. And I told him, and I messaged my then friend, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't know. And you know all he said? Emmy, they love you. They love you. Don't stop. And whether people love me or not, for real, I'm not going to stop, because this is where I'm supposed to be. Speaking my truth and sharing of myself, sharing of my journey. We need to understand we don't understand much of who we are until after we've lived through the lessons and experiences that help us to realize who we have always been underneath all of those insecurities. I've always been this. I just don't show it to people. Why? Well, I'm too intense, and people get scared when I talk about certain things, and then I don't talk like other people, and I use words that are just like, people don't, they think that I'm trying to make myself seem smarter than them, and all these reasons. Like, your insecurities are none of my concern at this point. I don't want you to be insecure, but just because you do feel insecure with yourself and your journey does not mean I need to shrink myself anymore. Because then that just amplifies your own insecurities. As I've stepped into my personal space and my personal power over my personal life, how has that affected you guys? Has that made you feel smaller? Has that made you feel less than? Have you felt worse about yourself being in my presence now that I found myself to be worthy of just being myself? Or did you have a more positive experience? Are you feeling some kind of way after hearing me talk and realizing things about yourself, realizing things about, how you've convinced yourself of all sorts of really ugly things about yourself that maybe aren't even true? Always empowered. Beautiful. Beautiful. Our own worst critics. Yes, y'all are. Yes, you guys are. Myself as well. You know, how it's helped you to grow so much. Just witnessing someone in their own journey, living their own truth, not having everything figured out, not needing to appear as though I have everything figured out, allowing myself to have vulnerable moments. Because why? Because I need you to feel bad for me. I'm not a damsel. I can hold my own. But when I cry, it's a release of whatever it is that I've held inside me for so long, that there's no other way out but as an overflow of love for myself. My tears are liquid love. Love for myself. Love for those who witness me, because really, how much do I have to love you to allow you to see me in that place of vulnerability? How much trust has to exist between us? Up until I want to say, it was 2017. Towards the end of 2017. Up until then, no one had ever seen me cry. Yeah. No one had ever seen me cry. Even for other people. I would like, oh, we're not going to cry. And now, do I force myself to? No. Do I still feel hesitant and somewhat ashamed when I do? Where I feel as though I've kind of lost control and like, oh man, now I'm making you guys feel uncomfortable. And whew, yeah, that's how I feel. But you know what? Push through. Push through that place of discomfort. Allow yourself to step into a place of such profound personal power and recognition of it, that you're not afraid or ashamed anymore to be a real, true, living, breathing, authentic human. A human. It's so important that we get to this place. It's so important that we get to this place within ourselves where we can actually be ourselves, where we can find who we are and be who we are. Como says it's time to move forward. Healer card in reverse. This is telling me that for whoever this message is for, you haven't been able to allow yourself to heal yourself. You've been practicing healing other people. Okay. You've been allowing yourself to practice different forms of compassion, different forms of grace, different forms of self-empowerment, communication, the different love languages, recognition of the different luminous bodies, all these different things you're practicing. At some point, you have to stop practicing and start doing. All of this time you've spent practicing on helping other people heal. The end goal is to begin applying it to your life and allowing yourself to heal. The foundation in the homeland is upside down. So this is someone who can't heal themselves because their world has been turned upside down. They're in the presence of someone who maybe doesn't allow them, maybe shames them into compliance. Maybe it's an environment where their actual needs are not taken into consideration. There's like a lot of different senses of a lot of different things that need to be worked through, that really are just, I guess you could say, a testament to the toxicity of what you're living through, to the point where you're not even remembering the reason you're there. Why are you there? Like, why are you in that environment? Why are you there? What's going on there? Do you feel obligated? Are you there out of obligation? Is this a trauma response type thing? where at one point you were both traumatized and then you grew past the trauma and this person couldn't grow past the trauma. And so what happened? Now y'all are traumatized together and now you're wanting to grow past the trauma, but they won't let you. See, that's the thing about trauma bonds. A trauma bond will always fail. Why? Because at some point, the stronger one will realign themselves in their lives and they will want and choose to grow past the trauma. The other person won't, because that's who they are. That's who they are. Okay. Someone who has this faux shell, you know what I mean? Like this fake facade, this personal brand of like, I'm empowered, I'm successful, but behind that brand, it's messy. It's messy. I'm saying this as a messy person. Yeah, no, it's not necessarily bad to be messy, but when the messy involves sprinkling of toxicity and stirring it into the pot, that cannot be good, you know? Ooh, yes. I was just thinking I can't heal in the same environment I've been hurt in, especially being triggered of it over again. Yes. Most people cannot heal in the environment where they were injured. That's, and you don't have to force yourself to. But if you need to exit that environment in order to heal, you have to make a choice to exit and actually implement some sort of plan to exit. Como says it's time to exit. Like, for everyone? Or are you are you talking about a specific person? It's time to exit. Don't know what it means. I don't know if it's for a specific person or for everyone. Please don't put yourself in a dangerous situation. You have to make sure you know what you're going to do and have some sort of plan exiting, especially if it's an environment that's physically toxic. If y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay? Be careful. Be careful. Be safe in your planning. Okay? If it's someone who is physically aggressive, you got to make sure you have all of these plans in place already and contingencies before you actually leave. And they can't find out you're going to leave, because that's going to be really dangerous for you if the person you're dealing with is physically aggressive. Okay? Please be safe. Just please be safe. I don't feel like you have to necessarily be afraid to the point where it cripples your plans. But just be careful, okay? Card number 2, inner trust. Trust yourself to know the whens, the wheres, the whys, and the hows. Just trust yourself. You know how to do this. Oh, also, she points out, don't listen to people who are trying to tell you something differently than what you already know to be true for yourself. Don't listen to those people. Let's see. Learn more, don't miss out. Delta Air. Yeah, so seriously. Jumpstart your holidays. Learn more, don't miss out. Ooh, again. Just a friendly reminder that today's the final day. The celebration ends. Ooh, Dr. Ramani, the victory of leaving a narcissistic relationship. Ooh. Sorry. Add some ha ha ha's to your ho ho ho's. It's time to just enjoy your life for real. Like, people who don't allow you to enjoy your life, they're the beast from Revelation. Oh, shoot. Okay. Here, listen to me. The beast from Revelation. What I've come to terms with the book of Revelation, in order for that to come to fruition, in order for the book of Revelations to come to fruition, we're going to have to we're going to have quite a few people participating in the manifestation of the details. Okay. Why do you think they keep propagating that propaganda? Propagating that propaganda. They need your manifestation energy to do this. They need your cooperation. Even if you think you're not cooperating, so long as you continue to interact, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Why do people who want to start shit with me get irritated with me? Because I won't cooperate. Ta-da! I won't cooperate. I won't. I just won't. Does that mean I'm going to like fight with you? And no. I had this man who was trying to force me to interact with him, right? He was trying so hard to force it. And because of the contractual thing that existed, I was a point of contact. He didn't like that I wouldn't answer my phone. I wouldn't, you know, reply to text after a certain period. After I've told you, like, I don't socialize with people outside of my immediate family. Like, and so he got angry. And because he couldn't access me via electronic means, he kept coming to my home. That's not okay. That's not okay. He can never catch me at home. Be pissed. By the way, I'm moving. I'm not going to play this with you. No, it's not going to be a back and forth. You want to try and threaten me with something? Send it to my lawyer. That's it. That's it. And people might be like, oh my God, but Emmy, that's like so much money. Yeah, here's the thing. As much money as I'm spending on a lawyer, you're needing to spend it too. How long do you want to keep this up? Because baby boo, I don't get my hair done. I don't get my nails done. I don't buy purses. I don't buy shoes. I don't eat out. I don't. The only thing expensive that I get is my facial moisturizer, and that's maybe like once a month. I'm good. I'm good. We keep going. If all my income has to, we keep going until I can find a different place to live. We keep going. Let's keep going. But you're not going to access me. You're not going to get my participation. You're just not. You're just not. Nope. You're not. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. To the point where, guess what? His lawyer stopped messaging me. And he had to be the one to be like, I've spoken with my lawyer. Yep, forward it to my lawyer. I gotta laugh about it. I do. I gotta laugh about it because like I'm not even gonna answer you. I'm just gonna forward it straight to my lawyer and she's going to answer you. No. No. I'm not gonna give you any of my energy. That's a decision I'm making and you can't stop me from that. And that's when my stubbornness kicks in. And thank God I'm stubborn AF like that. For that, yeah, thank God I was stubborn AF for that. I was stubborn AF because I needed to be, because that's what kept me safe. For other things, I don't need to be stubborn like that. Like I get mad at my husband and he cooks pretty much all my meals because he knows I like it when he cooks. And I'll get upset. I won't eat. I'm really difficult to be in a relationship with. For whoever is like, oh yeah, wanted to be my woman, I'll make you cry. You'll be in a corner crying by the end of the day. And you're going to be like, take her back. Wherever she came from, take her back and leave her there. Yeah. You still want me? Mm-hmm. Good. Make you suffer. Not by being mean, but by being my naturally difficult self. Oh, oh my gosh. Thank you, Corel. This is what I see. I'm like, what are you talking about? I can't see the sticker because I'm on a, I'm not live native. Thank you, Corel. I was like, what are you saying? That I'm a lemon character? Moving head from left to right with my mouth open. Thank you, Corel. Ooh, I felt my aggression rise. Como's laughing. I know. I'm trying to be peaceful. Bringing it into form. So, you got to take the steps if you want to make progress, right? If you want to go further down your path, you have to actually take the steps. Unless you know how to levitate. If you know how to levitate, just start levitating. What you're complaining for is levitate, right? You have to take the steps to actually free yourself from whatever it is you're needing to free yourself from. Card number 33, Heaven Said. I'm so sorry, Carl. I'm the smartest space cadet you'll ever meet. I am the most smartest airheaded person that you will ever meet. I ain't even ashamed. There's no shame in my game. Card number 33, Heaven Sent. So you're being divinely guided. I feel like whatever's going on, you've really been encouraged and guided by your soul. Okay. You've been encouraged and guided by your soul. Ooh, more miles. More miles. I got another email from Delta. More miles. You need to travel more miles between that starting point of the realization of what toxic thing you've been in and this thing that you're headed towards. Koma says, are you ready? Or ready for what? She's just asking, are you ready? Card number 28, collaborative dreaming. So whatever environment you were in or are currently in and are wanting to exit out of, this is an environment where people are not seeing the truth and gravity of whatever it is. Okay. They're not seeing the truth and the gravity of the depth of toxicity. It's a very toxic thing that you're living through, for some, not for all, for some, and different forms of toxicity at that. Like for some, the toxicity is coming in the form of verbal aggression. For others, the toxicity is coming in the form of physical aggression. And yet for others, it's coming in the form of emotional manipulation. There's so many different types and ways in which toxicity can present itself. My logic is this. I don't care how the toxicity is presented. The moment I identify it as toxic is the moment I begin separating myself from that. First internally and then eventually environmentally. Now, I don't expect people who are in my life to never have any type of vestiges of toxicity. But when that toxicity is so detrimental to my internal peace, my sense of self, my mental health and safety, you gotta go, baby boo. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. And here's the thing, I love using my husband as an example. There's times he does things and I'm like, that's toxic. I'll tell him straight up, that's toxic. Then sometimes his feelings will be hurt. And I'm like, I'm not saying you're toxic. I'm saying the behavior is toxic. Stop acting toxic. That's some toxic ass stuff. Like, if you want to keep being toxic like that, like the behavior, keep doing that. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to be in the car with you. I'm going home. And it's like, it's a boundary line that I'm no longer willing to kind of blur. I've become so sensitized to my environment that when I'm presented with toxic behaviors, toxic conversations, it feels like it enters into my core. It makes me literally feel sick. Does that mean my husband is a toxic man? No, he's not. He's not a toxic man. Like, how could I stay married to him for this long if he was a toxic man? We've had toxic cycles where either I'm toxic or he's toxic. We work through that. We learn from that. And then we grow from that. And that's that. But when you're consistently toxic as a person, that's your identity. Your identity is toxicity. You got to go, baby boo. I can't deal with people who feel like they're always right. When you call them out on their stuff, when you point out how it's affecting you, they got to bring up how you did this and that. I can't be around that. Nope. I have standards for myself now. And they're basic standards. I can't be around that. That's emotional manipulation and gaslighting. Can't be around that. I don't care who it is. I can't be around that at all. I can't be around people who, the moment you speak your truth, which maybe you're not even discussing it or sharing it in, an aggressive manner or, passionately or however you want to put it. Excuse me. And they get upset. They start crying. Oh my God. When I feel like you're fake crying, and I'm a very good judge of fake crying and real crying, I'm psychic. Hello. When I feel like you're fake crying, the Capricorn in me is like, good, cry louder. Kind of like, do it. Cry louder. I don't feel bad. Cry louder. Thank God I don't have people like that in my life. I don't. I went through several years of cultivating my space, like consciously choosing who will be around and who will not. Not because you're not enough, but because we're just not compatible. I can't be around that. I can't. I can be around it for short periods, but to have you consistent, no, I cannot. I don't want to. It's okay for me to not want that. You'll find other people who will. Go to them. It's okay. Don't worry. I just, go to them. They like it. They like the crying. They like the drama. Go to them. You guys can be BFFs. You guys can talk shit about me, give you common ground. That's all good. But I'm not going to be part of that. I'm not going to respond. I'm not going to feel nothing. I'm just going to keep going with my life. And you're going to be left behind where you're at right there. And that place of toxicity. And that's that. That's just that. We have to allow ourselves to no longer be part of this collaborative dreaming, this co-creation of toxicity, toxic environments, toxic interactions. I am so good off of that. I'm so good off of that. Like, I can't. I don't want to. I don't want to. And I have a right to be able to choose what I want and don't want in my life. And the very people who try to tell me, like, I don't have the option of choosing something different than what they're offering are the people who have zero place at my table. No, no, no. They're the last people you need to have sitting at your table. It's like this thing where, say you're at a group dinner, right? You guys are at a restaurant and you guys you're at Maggiano's. I love Maggiano's. I can't eat there anymore, but I love Maggiano's. So you go to Maggiano's and you're going to do like the family setting where you're ordering a la carte basically, and everyone's going to share it, right? And so everyone gets to pick a dish that they like, that they're going to share. But when it comes to your turn to pick, someone at the table is like, oh, no, you can't pick that because, I can't eat that. But you're picking your dish, right? You can eat your dish. Why are you telling me not to pick what I want when you got to pick what you want? And I didn't restrict you from picking what you want. But you're being selfish. Not everyone can have that. What? As someone who has lived for so many years with some sort of food restriction in place at all times, whether, 6 years, 6.5 years of veganism, um, grain free, dairy free, nightshades free. I can't have legumes. I can't have this. I can't have that. And it's like, at no point did I ever complain that there was nothing for me. My needs are my responsibility. If I'm going to a party where no one else has a dietary restrictions that I have, I need to make sure I eat before I go. My two youngest cannot eat at a restaurant. Their health is so compromised, they cannot eat at a restaurant because of cross contamination of foods, right? So, for the most part, we don't go eat at restaurants. But in the rare instances where we want to have like this restaurant setting because maybe we're visiting someone, maybe someone's visiting us and we want to eat out, no, we don't leave the kids at home. They come and we bring them Tupperwares of what they can eat. Because although they can't eat anything there, that doesn't mean they don't get the opportunity to eat with us. It's about preparing yourself for the life that you need. It's about accommodating yourself and not compromising with other people who refuse to accommodate you. Okay? Create your space and don't compromise in there. If you're entering someone else's space, fine. Yes, you need to compromise. You can't always have it your way. But if you're creating your own space and you're existing within your space, no, you don't have to compromise there. If you know for a fact you are a reasonable person, don't. If you know they're unreasonable, don't. What is already with you? So, okay, the conversation is shifting from like social settings and um, personal gifts, personal opportunities to something else. This conversation is shifting rather quickly. It's shifting. Card number 44, visions of life beyond death. Allowing yourself to see beyond the identity that you know yourself to be right now. No longer able to deny or resist. Whatever it is that you can no longer deny or resist, it involves the letting go of the life as you know it right now, the identity and the life that's associated with that identity. Card number 26, relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. This has to do with someone, something swirling around you, swirling around you, swirling around you. They're not allowing you to have your space. It's almost like a gaslighting. Like, that's not true. That you never understand me. You never listen to me. I'm hearing you right now. I'm hearing you right now. I'm hearing you gaslight me right now. What do you mean I never listened to you? Why do you think I'm so irritated by you? Because I hear you. I'm just saying. If you want the truth, ask a Capricorn. Card number 34, in the world, not of the world. So this is a juxtaposition between the two. You have someone who cut down your tree, and then this other person, it's almost like a comparison that's happening where this other person is in this world, not of this world, allowing all the other fish to swim past because you're just so magical. The river itself cannot knock you over. Just really just naked in your truth and looking good, girl. You looking good. I'm just saying there's a comparison being made right now between you and someone else. So, are you making this comparison or is someone else making this comparison? I do not know. Card number 4, against the grain. Allowing yourself to polish yourself. Going against the grain better refines that redefinition of who you are. Okay. So, in the process of making a diamond, you've made all of these different cuts. These cuts add to the showcasing of your brilliance, right? We don't need all that extra bulk because it doesn't allow the light to pass through in a way that will showcase your brilliance. After you have all those cuts, you need to begin doing the polishing, the finishing touches. And the finishing touches involve going against the grain. It involves going against what the ethos of your environment is. No one agrees with you. Ooh. The people who don't agree with you. Oh, this is like really getting me in the chest. The people who don't agree with you, are they the people who know what's actually going on? Do they know what's actually going on in your life and the way you're being treated? When you see me talking like this, Tupac coming out of me in 5 seconds. I'm about to get gangster with it. No, for real. These people who don't agree with you and your decisions for yourself in your life, what gives them the right? What gives them the right? Is it you? Are you letting these people think that they have some sort of authority, dominion over you? Is that what's going on? Because if you're someone who has no problem giving someone else power over you, give it to me. Give it to me. I'll run your life. And I'll tell these mother freaking beesies to mind their own business. Okay? No, honey, do not involve yourself in this person's life. Okay? You need to better spend your time. Maybe go wash up. You got stink cooch energy. Go. 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 You don't know what this person is going through. I don't need to know what this person is going through. We both need to honor their sovereign right to choose. Make better use of your time. Go rinse up. You know, stank cooch energy is not, no, it's not welcome here. Stank cooch energy is not welcome here. Can we just please get that in our heads? Get that in our heads. No to stank cooch energy. If you got stank cooch energy, that tells me you haven't been focusing on yourself enough. Why would I ever listen to you? You can't even maintain your own pH balance. Why would I listen to you? Because this is, no. I'm so serious right now. This is the nicest way I could put it. This is the nicest way I can put it. All the other ways I could put this, it's going to make people cry. It's going to get me further shadow banned. I'm just saying. Stank cooch energy is not welcome here. Okay? Okay? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. Power of attraction. Okay, so is that it? Is that it? Does this have to do with, like, you are realigning yourself with what you actually need, and people in your life are not liking it because why? Have you asked? Because you're making the wrong decision. There's no wrong decision. You could never make a wrong decision for yourself. There's decisions that create an increase in your struggle. And then there are options that can be selected to decrease the struggle. That's it. There's no such thing as right or wrong. There's opportunities to learn in a more compassionate, gentle way and environment. And then there's options that drag you through the mud by someone with hygiene problems. And whoever is thinking about like that's, oh my God, you're someone that misogynistic for pointing out that there's hygiene issues that need to be addressed rather than you sticking your stank ass into someone else's business. Touche, right? Touche. Like I said, I could put it in such harsher ways, but I'm trying to be peaceful. I'm trying so hard to be peaceful. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to shame you, but I am saying you should be ashamed of your behavior. Okay? You don't have to feel ashamed about that stank cooch, but you should be ashamed of your behavior. The behavior that's leading me to make this analogy of stank cooch behavior, stank cooch energy. Okay? That's what you should be ashamed of. I'm just saying. So then it tells me that for whoever's listening to this and resonating with it, it's like you're realigning yourself, this alignment between self and soul, this alignment between you and other people who are healthy for you. Let me just not like it's for some reason it's now like seriously upsetting me. I don't even know why I'm getting this upset. I feel like I need to go to war for someone. I don't know who. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. It's like an emptiness in my belly. I don't want to fight. I don't want to mirror ugliness in order for people to understand how ugly the behaviors are. So I'm not going to because I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to be a reflection of the things I don't like. I want to emanate the truth, emanate this light that will help you find your own way at your own time because of choices that you make for yourself. I don't want to do that. Como says, see, you are growing. I'm trying to stop trying to cultivate a growth that's unnatural. I'm trying to flow with the thoughts and the processes that lead me to think and feel certain ways and things. I think I'm truly at this point, truly leaving behind places of fear and latent toxicity that no longer has a place in my life. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It's a process. It's going to continue to be a process. I'm going to continue to choose to learn and grow. And in moments where I forget to choose my growth and my learning, I will hold myself accountable, but I will not beat myself up. I'll continue the process where I left off when I backslid. And it's powerful to make these declarations for yourself. All right. This realignment that's occurring, it's going to trigger you. It's going to trigger the people in your environment, especially when people are accustomed to having too much control, too much authority over you and your processes. It's going to trigger everybody. Okay. It might create a flashbang moment where it's like everyone's kind of blinded and they've gone deaf because flashbang, hello, flash of light, big bang for the ears. Everyone's disconcerted. The whole entire environment is being turned upside down. As much as I love to repeat old patterns of me rushing in to save you from what though? From living your own process that leads you to a greater, more profound understanding of yourself, your capabilities, your intelligence, your adaptability. You got this. You can do it. You're already doing it. And I have to learn to love people in a way that further supports your process of self-empowerment, not supports your belief that you can't do it. And now I have to rush in and say, you don't need to be saved. You're just in a process. This process will continue. It will evolve and then it will dissipate. And that's that. That's that. What's your last name? You don't have to leave, but I really need space from you right now. I don't want to hear. Card number 3, inspiration. Allowing yourself to be inspired by even the things that sting. For some, you're allergic to bees. For others, many others, bee pollen, bee venom, all of that stuff. I'm sorry, guys. Card number 27, receiving. Allowing yourself to receive the very information, confirmation, details, whatever it is that you need to receive in order to fully understand whatever it is you need to understand. Now, I'll say this once: the road to hell is paved with good intent. Card number 21, beyond the mind, the heart beats. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. So, beyond what your limited human perception is, there is this rhythm to life, rhythm to your process, rhythm to all of these things that you're going through. Okay. All of these things have a rhythm to it. Card number 40, Sacred Fool. Sometimes when you resist your process of growing, your own spiritual team will make a sacred fool out of you. Card number 8, be the hunter, not the hunted. Allowing yourself to have the permission you need from yourself to pursue whatever it is you need to pursue. Things that bring you sustenance, things that help to further nourish you. Sometimes those are the things you need to pursue without any apologies. Card number 9, what do you feel? I don't feel like sharing. What do you guys feel? How are you guys receiving the messages from your life? What do you guys feel towards the experiences that you've had? I'm angry. I'm angry. You don't think it was a bit manipulative? Card number 36, listening for truth. Listening for truth, allowing yourself to hear the truth of whatever it is you need to hear, you know? Card number 10, releasing allegiances. Releasing this allegiance to an obligation of the way you're supposed to exist and who's supposed to be in your life, who this and who that, and all of these other who's. I'm getting hives. I can feel it. Yeah, she did. She did, Ocean Lover. My cheeks are red because I'm fucking furious. And then we have Michael over here. Stop. You're making her cry. Be glad I'm not just making her cry. Be glad that's all I'm doing. I'm disappointed. Trust is a two-way street. And when only one person walks down that road, that's not trust. But I get it. I get it. I get it. It wasn't necessarily a manipulation because there was never a lie of, I'm this person when I'm not. It was a clear withholding of certain details that would cause me to be triggered because I was at a place within myself and my understanding that would prevent me from being able to properly receive whatever I'm supposed to receive. So I get it, but I still have a right to be fucking furious. Because when you feel like you've been manipulated in some shape, way, or form, you absolutely have a right to be furious. But for clarity's sake, there was no misrepresentation of facts. So sorry, guys. Give me one moment. Can I hold your hand? It's card number 25, release a dark wound, let love live. Releasing that dark wound and letting love live. You know, letting yourself experience whatever processes you need to experience, whatever realizations you need to come to in order for you to gain a better clarity of whatever it is. So there's this question of, has the interaction been detrimental to me in any way? No, it hasn't. That's the truth of it. And then we come into the realm of omissions being basically half lies. But was it an omission that was very cleverly hidden, or was it just a general statement of not yet? You know, not yet. And I don't know if I'm making excuses, because I have already begun to bond with this. I just don't like feeling like I've been put in a process that I didn't willingly, knowingly choose myself for myself. I don't like that. I don't like that. And then Michael is over here, but do you ever choose your growth? Or is it always ever just placed upon you so that you can carry it and grow as you carry it, despite the fact that you carrying it doesn't need to happen if you would only stop walking and open the bag and look inside, but instead you choose to carry it? And is it not the weight of that package that serves your growth? Which, yes, that's true. Yeah, you guys might want to hold my hand because I'm considering clawing. I'm considering mauling, slapping. Like, I'm considering quite a few things. I'm not going to, though. And then comes the question: who am I really supposed to feel upset with? Como or myself? And an even more powerful question: do I even need to be upset? I don't know. I don't know if I even need to be upset, to be honest. Of course it would be Michael. Of course it would be Michael. She's like sobbing so hard. And she's basically saying in between sobs, I've wanted to tell you from the start, but Michael keeps telling me no, that it's not time. And every time you'd ask me the question, I wanted to be truthful, but he would tell me no. Card number 43, come to life. It's time to come to life, like truly come to life and allow yourself to process what needs to be processed. Allow yourself to travel through the different stages and places within yourself that need to be explored, reassessed, and finally just let go of. No, why would I be mad at your son and mad at you? Is that like just a made up name? I'm so fucking pissed. Card number 24, Pisces, I believe. I must be a mermaid. I have no fear of depths and a great fear of shallow living. In faith and trust, you must surrender to what is. The 12th house is a house of self-undoing. It's a mysterious and unfathomable, but can indicate a life that needs clarifying as well as definition. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac and symbolizes the old soul who has passed through many lives, has picked up much here and there, and experienced almost everything along the way, but sometimes doesn't process things well and tends to repeat mistakes. Is it a subtle arrogance to process my thoughts and my perceptions? Is it? Is it a form of arrogance? Am I making actual justifications, or am I processing and simply understanding all aspects, allowing myself the space to understand all aspects? Is it making excuses for someone else to be able to bravely accept that, yeah, you know what? Had I known right from the start, nope, nope. But I'm not the same person I was right at the start. So is it evidence of arrogance directed at self? Or is it a witnessing of the unfolding of a woman in her process of growth? When we're not aware of the complexities that are involved in processes of souls that are so far evolved that they fight themselves, we really should be careful about making assumptions. Are you a superwoman? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Absolutely. Yes, I am. Because I have the capacity to understand and hold myself accountable about what I understand and the ways in which I limit myself, limit my growth, limit my ability to connect with people. Yeah, I am a superwoman. I am. Absolutely. Does anyone want to refute that? Being in your process and holding yourself accountable. No, sit down beside me. Almost like, I'm just going to leave. No, sit down beside me. Stay here. You didn't upset me. I upset myself. I upset myself. At no point did you lie to me. I upset myself. Then you're welcome to stay. Pisceans have trouble maintaining boundaries, sometimes even feeling half erased. If you have ever observed a Piscean, you may notice they don't appear as intelligent as they really are. You could even call them gullible or vague until they start cracking out works of genius. And they can be so psychically tuned in, it'll knock your socks off. Okay. Pisces is a beautiful sign with much compassion, denoting true visions that link up with the collective. Those ruled by this sign know how much, know it all deep down, but have trouble sorting matters out. They are able to sense deeply, except for certain things extremely bad for them, which turns into mishaps and disasters. But through it all, Pisces still survives. And here's the thing. What upset me about this statement that's on the screen, what upset me about this is the implications of it, where we have to attack and tear someone else down in order to sustain ourselves, in order to claw out a place for ourselves within our own lives. Bitch, the whole fucking thing is mine. The entire auric field is mine. I don't need to claw anyone down in order to get a better sense of myself. I hold myself accountable. I allowed interaction. I mean, logically, though, who is allowed in my auric field? Nothing, not even my guardians and guides. Nothing is allowed in. Why is this woman inside my auric field? Common sense that I didn't want to tap into, because I'm like, there's no way. There's just no way. They wouldn't dare. They wouldn't dare. Right, Catherine. Right. It's about holding yourself accountable and not allowing anyone, whether they intend to or not, to convince you, inspire you, encourage you to tear other people down just because you don't feel so big and bad. I don't need to look or feel as though I know everything. And no, something was allowed. I rolled with it. Why? Because why is this being allowed? Of course. She says, thank you for sticking up for me. Of course. You didn't do anything wrong. If y'all want to attack someone, attack Michael. I'm just saying. Take it up with Michael. He's the dick here. You may be extra sensitive to beauty currently. Poetry courses through you. You feel connected to the source. You like the idea of surrendering to what is. Compassion flows. Take advantage of inspiration and channel it into a creative project. You have a notion or a dream, swim to it. Capture that wave. A great idea from the past may reemerge, and you may want to return and finish it. But you will want to tackle this idea soon when you're inspired, or the entire matter could disappear into the rushes of the deep. About your question, you may be confused by the reactions of others or simply unable to get to the correct answer. Pisces can be like a pristine sea or the muck of a swamp, so getting lost is a danger. Make sure you're not being pulled under by other people's complications. Amen to that. Amen to that. Make sure you're not being pulled under by other people's complications. You know, other people's complicated perceptions because of what they lived through and the miasmic distortions that occurred because of their refusal to see their own processes, things like that. And I'm making general statements here. We can't allow someone else's process of wanting, needing to be overly proactive in defending themselves or whatever it is. Uh, we can't allow that to affect our perception and who we are. If I'm going to be toxic, it's going to be on my own terms. If I'm going to be toxic, it's going to be because I chose to, not because someone else encouraged me to, because that's where they currently exist. You know what I mean? So it's possible you may have someone in your life who saps you. Usually this is not intentional, but because of some delusional way of unthinking or viewing the world that clouds the issue. Don't fall into the same confusion. Make sure you're protected and have the proper boundaries. You may have physical symptoms, but find no reason for them. Be careful when this card comes up, especially in regards to medicines or drugs, because allergies and strange reactions to medications may develop. When the Pisces card is involved, circumstances may be covert or at least obscured from view. So not being able to see clearly the root causations of certain things, like, you know, and yes, Elijah. He tried to block what she said. When she said it, he tried to block what she said. He cupped my ears. And see, that's the thing. It's like people don't know all the details of what's being experienced. They're only witnessing a partial component of an entire process. And, you know, it's just one of those things. Why? Because I'm combative. Michael knows how I am. He knows that if I bond with you and you do horrible things, or if I feel like you've been manipulative or dishonest in some way, if I've bonded with you first, I'm less likely to attack you and reject you. I'm less likely to. I'll be more likely to like consider and grow from it. So he does things not to manipulate me, but because he knows I need assistance in my processes. And so that's what he was doing. He was assisting me in my process. Is it me being scapegoated, or is it me understanding myself? You know? And when people like to write things that basically, you know, like, no, Emmy, you're faultless, like, no, this and that, like, you know, I understand people want to support me and love me in that way, but enabling my toxicity towards myself and my process does not help. It does not help. Is it a situation of scapegoating, or is it a situation of clarity? Exactly, Katie Ann. I told you guys, I'm working through so much toxicity within myself. So much. It's still there. But I've been greatly able to mitigate the effects of that toxicity in my life. It's still there. And if you trigger me just so, it comes flooding out. It comes flooding out. Al-Uza, Star of Venus. Card number 26. I know. I know. You didn't lie. I am the pure light, my son. I'm not a handful of worthless dust. I am not just an empty shell. I am a regal pearl formed in this world. Close your eyes to see and become aware of me. Come into the mystery to find me. I am a carefree visitor here for you. My beautiful one, born of pure radiance, you have love in your heart and a passion for play that cannot be dulled by blackness, boredom, or fear. Your soul is sensual and dances with life with utter abandonment and devotion. Though the ways of this world seem strange to you at times, you eventually declare it to be nothing but strange beauty and expand your heart, resisting nothing to allow all to be bathed in the radiance of your being. You are here to share the light of another world, a blessed world of consciousness pure and divinity so absolute that it transcends duality and instead brings all into the oneness of the greatest love. The star of Venus is the great androgen, neither solely masculine nor feminine, but an integration of both. The power it bestows is mighty and based utterly in love. When this star seeks us out, multiple blessings are bestowed, and our spiritual growth can be accelerated in ways that may be quite dazzling and surprising to our more limited mindset and belief systems. With great blessings, great growth is possible. However, the blessings don't do the growth for us, making it magically happen. They give us the oomph we need, the power and the opportunities and assistance we need. Yet it is still we who take the journey. The great spiritual journey for old souls at this time is Earth's history. In Earth's history is a journey from duality to oneness. Many are signing up for that wild, loving adventure. This oracle has come to you as a reminder that you too have been granted a ticket for that journey. This journey of oneness is not about denying duality, but about experiencing it as an expression of one love. It is about no longer being enslaved by it, but is about avoiding what is not wanted in order to pursue what is wanted. It's about embracing the all, of finding the freedom and joy originally sought, but now through a path that takes you into joy and freedom existing within. To take the great transformation from man or woman into a cosmic being does not require that we lose our sense of femininity or masculinity. Rather, they become so superior in development that they cease to be distinguished from each other. Our masculine clarity, which its discernment, practicality, and application becomes so tender, loving, compassionate, and tempered with grace, that the feminine is integrated with it. Our feminine nurturance, dedication, and connection to life becomes so fierce that discernment and wise action naturally prevail. And this is exactly what you guys have just witnessed. This is what you guys have just witnessed. Allowing that masculinity within me to become tender, loving, compassionate, and tempered with grace. Because normally I would just start clawing shit. Burn everything and claw it all. And the feminine nurturance, dedication, and connection to life becomes so fierce that discernment and wise action naturally prevail, allowing that feminine aspect of me to rise up like a warrior goddess, and not allowing that which does not need to be attacked on my behalf. For what? For what? For what? For nothing. It's unnecessary. I need you to love me in a way that does not encourage you to attack others in order to protect me. Recognize how powerful I actually am. In the presence of that depth of power, no attacking is needed. Simply stillness and a moment to try and understand, to grasp that opportunity to learn and rise to a higher potentiality. The reality is this. If I really wanted to know, I can breach any shield and see what I want to see. But I didn't. That was a choice I made. I didn't. So who betrayed who? Was there even betrayal? Or were choices made that led to other choices and other opportunities to learn? And so now we're learning. We're learning how to take accountability for the things that we decide. And it's okay to be accountable for what you decide for yourself. No harm came to me. No longer able to deny or resist that growth. For me, that's what this reading is. I'll leave it up to you what you take from this, if you choose to take anything at all. Growth can be presented to you in so many different ways. And if you're expecting growth to simply be in the way that you choose for it to be, you're never going to grow. You're never going to grow until you find that fearlessness in the face of whatever people want to say or do. You're not going to grow. And that's a choice you make. If that's not the choice you want, choose differently. Choose your growth. Allow yourself to become this highest, most greatest potentiality of your most authentic state. Yes. Como says, I get to stay. Yes, you do. It's fine. I got to get going. I have sessions starting. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.